Thursday afternoon on the banks of the Thames, and the All Blacks are out training. The mood is relaxed, almost casual. Will Jordan is under the high ball, Beauden Barrett is practicing his goal kicking, and head coach Scott Robertson is chatting happily with the media. Someone asks him if his team is looking to make a statement against England on Saturday to remind everyone just how good they are. Robertson looks genuinely puzzled. "A statement performance?" he asks. "We're just looking for a result." That one line says it all. For decades, every All Blacks performance was a statement. Their coaches didn't just look for results, they expected them, demanded them against England or anyone else. But this is a new era. For the last 20 years, All Blacks press conferences felt formal, almost intimidating. You had a succession of serious men. The head teacher, the policeman, the minister's son. Each one a continuation of the last, upholding a rigid, consistent team culture. Then came Scott Robertson. Razor is a complete break from that tradition. He's the cool uncle you're happy to chat with at the buffet, not the stern patriarch. His vibe is different, and it's one of the big reasons this All Blacks team feels so different from the ones we're used to. But it's not just the coach. There are other, more concrete reasons for this shift. Let's be blunt. New Zealand are now very much the second-best team in the world. The top spot belongs to the back-to-back World Cup champions, the Springboks. South Africa has been their kryptonite, beating them in 4 of their last 5 tests, including that heart-wrenching World Cup final in Paris. And it gets worse. Recently in Wellington, the Springboks didn't just beat them, they thrashed them, putting up 43 points in a 33-point demolition. Before that day, no one had ever beaten the All Blacks by more than 15 points on home soil. A result like that used to trigger a national crisis in New Zealand. This time, the mood seems almost muted, maybe softened by some recent wins. For most of this century, regardless of rankings or recent results, the All Blacks were the alpha team. They had an aura, an invincibility that intimidated opponents before they even stepped on the pitch. That aura is gone. They are no longer the undisputed kings of the rugby world, and it feels strange for everyone, probably even for them. A huge part of the problem is player eligibility. You could build an intimidating All Blacks 15 right now, but most of them wouldn't be allowed to play because they've taken contracts in Japan. The player drain after the last World Cup was immense. 8 senior players left. Sure, legends like Sam Whitelock, Aaron Smith and Dane Coles were nearing retirement, but others were in their prime. Brodie Retallick and former captain Sam Cane are only 33. Star fly half Richie Mo Unga and the powerful Shannon Frizzell are both 31. Since then, even more have followed, like TJ Perinara and Mark Tellier. Of that entire group, only Mo'unga has committed to returning. Think about the sheer experience that has walked out the door. The All Blacks squad in the last World Cup final was the most experienced they had ever fielded, with over 1,300 caps combined. The team they've just picked to play England has under 1,000, and a huge chunk of that experience is concentrated in just 3 players: Beauden Barrett, Ardie Savea, and Cody Taylor. There's a whole generation of players with 50 or so caps who are just missing. They're the battle-hardened veterans who should be the core of the team right now. Then, you have the injuries. It's been a brutal tour. It's not just Jordie Barrett who had to fly home. Key players like Patrick Tuipulotu, Dalton Papali'i, Tupu Vaa'i, and Ofa Tu'ungafasi have all been sent home with injuries. The depth is being seriously tested, and it highlights that missing middle tier of experienced players even more. So, what can Scott Robertson do about all this? Not much, it turns out. He's in a tough spot. Look across the fence to their biggest rivals, South Africa. Their coach, Rassie Erasmus, can pick any South African player he wants, no matter where they play their club rugby. A huge part of the Springboks' success has been their ability to manage a squad scattered across the globe and still build a cohesive, world-beating team. Robertson has said he would push New Zealand rugby to relax its own strict selection rules, which currently state that only players based in New Zealand can be selected. But so far, nothing has changed. And based on comments from the NZR executives, it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. You can understand the union's dilemma. Japanese rugby offers a shorter season and, crucially, a bigger salary. It's not just the superstars leaving. There are over 100 New Zealanders playing across Japan's top 3 divisions. New Zealand Rugby is understandably terrified of its own domestic competition, the Super Rugby Pacific, being completely gutted. They feel they have to protect it. But the harsh reality is that this protection is coming at the direct expense of their national team. They are sacrificing the strength of the All Blacks to preserve the local league. This is the new reality for the All Blacks. A team in transition, led by a charismatic new coach, but hampered by a player exodus, injuries and rigid selection policies that seem out of step with the modern professional game. They are no longer the dominant force we knew for so long. They are a team searching for a new identity. A team that is, in their coach's own words, just looking for a result. The era of statement performances is, for now, on hold. How they navigate this challenging period will define the future of this iconic team. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more rugby analysis.